it is the 4th of the month, the day we focus on Take It to Heart. Our big screening event was a couple of weeks ago. We had 1,200 people. And one of the things we noticed was folks had a lot of questions about the food they were eating and how that relates to your health, especially since we had a real candid talk about diabetes and how that also affects the health of your heart. So joining me now, a lady who many of you all talked with. You were very busy that day. Registered dietitian from Memorial Hospital, Raylene Hungate, right? Okay, got it. Yes. All right. So, you know, it was interesting because I really feel like the conversation went from heart to diabetes, which necessarily isn't a bad thing because we know that if you have diabetes, you're more likely to have heart issues in the future. So what were some of those questions that you guys got?
Well, to start off, they were doing the test for hemoglobin A1C, so it led into a lot of people wanting to know, well, how can I better control my diabetes? So as I talked last time I was here, really creating a schedule or a meal pattern, making sure you at least include 3 meals and never skipping meals, eating every 4 to 5 hours. And then following the plate method, so half your plate being fruits and vegetables, then a quarter your grains or your starches, and a quarter a lean meat.
Right. And that's an easy thing to do when you picture the plate.
Yeah.
To say that quarter needs to be the lean meat, and the rest, if you can get fruits and vegetables, and then add a carb, but again, make that the smaller portion.
Correct.
One of the things that I think people were worried about, those carbohydrates, are they bad for them? Because sometimes they can raise your sugar levels.
And that's a common misconception. As soon as someone's told they have diabetes, they automatically think, oh no, I can't eat all these foods I loved. But no, you want to include them in the right amount. So like you said, when you look at your plate, that quarter is like your starchy vegetables, so potatoes, corn, or peas, and then your starch. So it could be a bread, anything you want, but just that quarter.
Right. So it's all about how much you eat. It's all about just managing that and not overdoing it. That's with anything, even in the sugar that we eat, you know, managing it. All right, so we had a woman on there. Her glucose levels were at 500. She was very scared. In fact, I followed up with her. She said now she's on insulin and she may end up having to go to the hospital. And you said you talked directly to her. One of the things that she said is that sometimes she just doesn't eat because she doesn't know what she can eat and she's literally scared. And you said one of the questions you guys had is, you know, what should I use when cooking meat, or can I even eat meat?
Right, and so a lot with heart health, people think, well, now I have to avoid or cut out red meat. No, you can include red meat, of course, leaner cuts like a loin or a round, but that's the least amount that you want to include. You know, maybe 1 to 2 servings per week, and then doing your lean proteins such as skinless chicken, fish.
And also figuring out where you can get your protein in other areas too. You know, I don't think people think about, you know, that if you eat beans or, you know, different things that will help bring in that protein. What are some of the other choices?
Good. So beans, of course, but it's still a starch. So you want to fit that in that quarter. It does. But there's still eggs, cheese, nuts, seeds, nut butter, such as almond butter, peanut butter. So there's a lot of options. Still, if you do cheese and dairy, you want to do low-fat options.
Okay. And those are more snacks. So maybe you make your meals that vegetable base and then get the protein in snacks. I've definitely been doing that with my nuts. All right, I think everyone wants to know this. How do we lose weight?
That's common. I swear, everyone sat down and asked that question. And a lot of the same thing, following that plate, because if half of your plate is that fruit or vegetable, it's going to be low in calories, especially then if you're cooking a lean meat and, say, an oil, lowering your fat content, and then meal schedule, don't skip meals, because you might get really hungry and eat something at the next meal that you knew you wouldn't turn to.
And that really comes down to planning. You know, I notice with my schedule, when my kids wake up from naps and I'm hungry and I know I need something quick, I'm going to grab whatever's there. And so if I have something prepared and I've thought about it, then it's a better choice than the chips or something that's there that I shouldn't have in the house anyway. You know,
Of course. And then apart from diet, it only takes you so far. A lot of times you'll hit a plateau with your weight loss and you need to add exercise. And something you find fun. I don't want you to go home and think, oh, this is a chore. I have to exercise
now. It's a lifestyle.
Right. So a class or walking your dog, anything that you enjoy.
There's no secret. You know, it's pretty transparent, the things that you need to do, and it is work. So join us in this, because really we do this every 4th of the month. Take it to heart. Take the challenge, because it certainly will make you healthy.